So there's this game out there, right? And you've heard of it, but chances are you might have not heard much about it. Why is that? Because since its release back in the summer of 2025, there hasn't been a lick of drama, knock on wood. No weird press releases, no skin scandals, and no wasting the absolute best aesthetics in the genre and running it into the ground. It's just pure ethical hoops. Yes, surprise, surprise, Mecharashi, the quiet kid in the corner, does its work on time, executes on its promise to zero fanfare. It's the same feeling as watching the San Antonio Spurs quietly dominate the modern NBA, getting multiple chips every decade and no one bats an eye. It's just the way of the world. It isn't sexy, but it's consistent. And I, for one, have been having a blast playing it for the last couple of months. Let me yap about it. So first, let's talk Big Draw, which honestly was the hardest part to write about. What is it actually that makes this game stand out? To me, not the characters. These guys are like if the kids from Fusion Frenzy on the OG Xbox grew up and joined a war. I can't do in-depth essays on these folks, they're very one-dimensional. Their art style? I mean, the aesthetics play it too safe in my opinion. It's even got that don't look too close filter where the details get to hide behind a Gaussian blur of trickery. It's fine. There is a very important positive regarding the characters that I've come to notice since playing. What do a lot of gachas have in common? A game-breaking character that tips the scales or pushes the power creep. Not over here. I'm finding utility in a lot of characters due to the nature of some stuff I'll get to soon. What about the story? Okay, we're coming to a mild simmer here. The world builds very focused and the story so far is pretty good actually. Nothing mind-blowing, just efficient storytelling. There's enough political intrigue with shadowy double crossings, and here's a few bonuses. The main character does not have amnesia and he's not trying to save the world, which is not in an apocalyptic state. No romantics or harems involved either, so there's that. What's more is that it's told in both visual novel and amazing cutscenes, also voice acted, which is always a plus. And when you customize your mechs, the design carries over to the animated scenes. The camera works actually S tier if you ask me. Is that the main draw then? Niet, negatif. It's actually, drumroll please, the gameplay. What? You mean it's not the dorm room creep sim where we can ogle tatas and wah wee wahs? No, my friend, this is actually Girls Frontline 2 post-nut clarity. Turn-based tactical to your heart's content. I'll be real, the Front Mission series, the one this game's based off of, was too slow for me, never finished. But if you're not familiar with Front Mission, I'd say these type of games are actually very particular. Either you obsess about tactical or it's just not for you. It's even got another layer of niche to break through because if you're not into mechs, I'm not, it'll probably be a rougher time to get past the aesthetics of cold steel. But the gameplay is so satisfying. It's super diverse and challenging, a mere yap vid couldn't do it justice. Basically, you control a party of ragtag ex-military types uncovering a conspiracy, and what's the best way to go about it?
Anyway, I started blasting. Bang, bang.
Absolutely. Allies and ops have 4 health bars, torso, 2 arms, and bottoms. Most units do damage to all parts, but there are weapons that target specific parts. You shoot off the arm your enemy's holding their weapon with, now they can't clap back. You snipe off the legs, now they move like pawns. You take down the torso, it's pretty satisfying choosing which parts to target and on who, setting up combos to keep your team unscathed. What's more is that every game mode has its own criteria for success, and stages have their own mechanics or rules to abide by. Even the story mode has side missions with unique obstacles. There's just so many ways to approach the gameplay. I mean, I can't glaze this aspect of the game enough. There's a lot to chew on, and if your favorite genre is turn-based tactical, it's even more yummy. Num 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 num. So let's get into it. Mecharashi for dummies. Characters. You have your pilots, standard gacha tier system, BAS. Each of them specialize in weapon types. Fighters are nice with their hands, doing melee with fisticuffs or pole arms and chainsaws. Raiders are good with assault weapons like machine guns and shotties. Snipers excel in long-range weaponry like rifles. Tacticians call in missile strikes. Machinists are the buffed healing support class, and guardians are your guard. Each pilot has specific license type to operate mechs, or STs as they're called here, which thankfully there's only 3, light, medium, and heavy. If you want to know which STs go best with which pilots, you can look up tier lists or in-game rankings show how the community favors pairings. Just be a sheep on this and follow what's best. You're playing a gacha, the most NPC genre of gaming out there. So, with a large variety of available STs and weapon types, there's a fairly diverse choose-your-own playstyle approach to the gameplay. Speaking of playstyles, is steamrolling the opponent a viable approach? No.
Level cap.
As you progress through the main story and upgrade your permit level, you get to break past level barriers. This entails completing challenges in the core program. Each story chapter ends with a critical operations stage which is just out of reach of your level cap to give you a real challenge. So no, you can only steamroll your opponents for so long until you hit this barrier. Okay, so you hit your level cap and find it hard to progress. What else can you do to beef up your pilots? Well, now you have to upgrade their bionic computers. This is the game's skill tree. As you unlock more nodes on the skill tree, you can also unlock pilots as neural drive sectors, where you can assign chip modifiers to boost extra stats and abilities. Alpha, beta, yama, yama. It's kinda ironic that the story concerns itself with the morality of human experimentation while our characters guzzle down potions to boost their capabilities. Anyway, what about the mechs, the STs? You can upgrade its parts, torso, arms, and bottoms by farming the Frontier Trial stages. Let's just get into the game modes at this point. In the Operations Center, you'll find Expansion Ops. Elite battles yield the potions you need to advance the character's skill trees. Simulated battles yield chip modifiers to boost abilities in said trees. Frontier Trial is where you farm ST components to level up your mechs, and Clearance Ops is a boss rush mode for farming weapon drops, which are random with set levels. Get as far as you can with these stages so you can min-max your daily sweeps. Aside from doing dailies and working on the core program, we get an arena for PvP and PvE where we require currency through rank rewards and spend it in the shops. Pretty standard. Then there's a passive dispatch mode where we get ST upgrade parts, and finally, there's a weekly roguelike mode called Border Conflict, blah 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 blah. There's a weekly roguelike mode called Border Conflict for more parts acquisition. I'm not editing that out. With its own shop to spend your earnings. And them's the dailies for this game. The modes are really where this game hangs its hat on. I'll be real, I've been getting my ass kicked fighting my way up. It's not the easiest gacha I've played. Usually you can tell with these free-to-play mobiles if the gameplay is just a guise to tap your wallets, the real meta. In this case, yeah, but also, no, you actually have to duke it out. I spent a whole day getting my ass kicked by a critical operations stage, so when you finally do break through, the sweet, sweet satisfaction of burning a day away is just, it still stings. You'll feel like the big dog early game, but that mid-game plateau is brutal. That being said, here's a quick section for beginner tips that I may or may not have followed myself. Firstly, re-rolling. Don't worry about re-rolling on the beginner pilot banner. You can keep redoing this until you're satisfied with your first S-tier pilot. I recommend Frida as an early game carry. More importantly, the ST banner. I should have listened and re-rolled for Twilight Fang. Its mechanics are perfect for our main character Kaiden, who eventually becomes an S-tier pilot. Do this or get stuck for months in dispatch missions trying to get its parts one by one. Secondly, let me reiterate, get as far as you can with expansion ops to get the most out of your daily sweeps. Finally, you'll notice a disturbance in the forest with the game modes. So many to sweep, so little stamina. I personally recommend spending your pull currency, or Arashium, to get extra stamina. You're capped at 200, but if you spend just 300 gems daily, you get an extra 750 stamina to keep going. I say it's worth it because I don't really care about the gacha itself. I'm just here to take turns shooting like it's the French Revolution. And bonus tip, customize your mechs. The STs look great, but I mean, the color schemes just echo the world around it, drab and industrial. I, for one, started matching the color schemes to fit the pilots that they're meant for. It just adds so much more life to the game. For a mobile gacha, I haven't even gone over the gacha, because I'll be real, I don't really give a f. These characters are fine, but I don't care about these Gears of War, hold my hoorah looking ass dudes. We're in the mechs anyway. So if you want more on the gacha system, YouTube. Okay, bye bye.